Hello and welcome to what will be my August garden tour. I've just finished feeding the critters and I'm going to start doing my rounds, and I'll take you along and we'll check on how the garden is doing. So we'll just go in the order I normally do when I do my rounds, and that starts with checking out the status of this disaster of garden bed that still manages to have these lettuces that we're letting go to seed, so that we can have more of this very, very productive lettuce in the future. And that's Colin. And as we make our way around the kitties, we've got the purple asparagus. Not much change here, but hopefully we will have seeds to collect, and not a lot of change with the sunchokes either. And here we have our winter sown bed. There's not much left in it, and what is left is all being allowed to go to seed, except, well, most of the carrots won't. There's one carrot that's gone to seed, and the rest will be slowly harvesting over time. And then on this side, we actually have harvested some tomatoes. So this is a subarctic plenty tomato, and most of these, they just had one tomato we picked and that was it, but we do have some more coming. Got some beans in the middle. We've been able to harvest like a handful of beans, a small handful of beans every several days. Carrots in here are self-seeded, and I am happy to say that we actually have finally more of the Black Beauty tomatoes. They are rock hard. They take a very long time to mature, but there they are. And we have actually been able to harvest some of the chocolate cherry. There's a ripe one over there that you can see. And Colin, hello patience. The corn in here, corn and beans, the cobs are forming. They're slowly getting something in here. I actually found this last night though. Maybe I can do it from above here. Let's see if we can zoom in there. So that is fungus on the corn. Corn smut, I think it's called. And I found another one over here, which is pretty gross. But apparently it is a delicacy, and no, not for me. Anyways, but other than that, the other corn doesn't seem to have it. And it's maturing over here. And then on this side, I repurposed what had been the melon trellis. Melons aren't growing, so I put it around this bed to protect it from critters, including whatever critter ate the top of that cob and stole that cob over there. So this wire was just long enough to go all the way around, and these posts over here are my door, so I can grab the posts and open and close it to get in. The squash in here, they're why I have to put the fence in, because they're still very small, male flowers only, not really growing. This entire area should be covered in squash leaves. They were last year when I had the Crespo squash in here. So the corn is doing well in here, the squash is not. I am happy to say that this year we have a lot of excellent apples on this crabapple tree. This is one that has some really nice tasty apples. The redder they are, the tastier they are. And then as we go around to the end here, there's a couple more apple trees that they produce larger apples, and they'll be ripe like next month, that month and a half. And unfortunately, a deer pulled on one of the branches and broke it, and I haven't been able to do anything about it. The branch is still alive though, so I don't want to cut it off completely. And here we have one of two silver buffalo berry that's actually producing berries. Tasted them before and they really sucked, but they're ripe now, and they're still really sour. And yeah, really sour. But, maybe the birds will like them. This is for shelter belts as well, so not being able to eat them is not a problem. The high bush cranberry is still low bush. I haven't really seen any growth on these. I know they've been here 3-4 years now, and planted them the same year as a silver buffalo berry. But anyhow, sea buckthorn is doing all right. We got this single little raspberry, the purple raspberry. It has not grown all summer. I finally started to be able to clear this area. Had to stop because it was too hot and muggy, and oh, that was a cat fight. There's just this patch that needs to be done, but it rained, and over here we finally got a really good mulch around. We got the haskaps and the apple and the gooseberry, and this poor plum needed to get wire put around it because the cage was not enough. The deer were still managing to stick their head in. For some reason, they seem to like the leaves of this plum more than anything else. So this area is where I had plastic to solarize and try and kill off what's underneath. It obviously didn't do too well, but that cardboard over there is going to be laid out on there, and we'll have the second bed built that will be joined up with this one. And this one, we've got the volunteer tomatoes all over the place, and some of them are doing surprisingly well. The pumpkins are getting big and huge. There's a flower there that I transplanted from one end to the other. The red noodle beans, still completely stagnating. There was some growth a little while ago, but not really, we're not getting any red noodle beans. We've got onions that are going to seed. We have Gouda, and then we have another big pumpkin over here, and you can see somewhere, there it is, there's a female flower starting to form on this one. On the others, all the female flowers have dried up and fallen off, except for this one pumpkin that we've got, and I've got it in the sling here, trying it on this one plant on the trellis, so it's doing well. But it's the only one where the female flower actually survived and became a pumpkin. And we have some volunteer tomatoes, one in the corner and one at the bottom of that post that got missed when I was cleaning up. And what I'm rather impressed by is how tall these Hopi black dye flowers, sunflowers are getting. They're taller than the, one of them is taller than the top of the trellis. So that's pretty awesome. All right, and here we have what's left of what's in the high raised bed. There's still carrots and beets to harvest, and we've got these radishes that are letting go to seed. There's a carrot that's gone to seed, and the deer were eating the radish pods, and so they've just sent up more flowers, and we actually have more fresh pods to gather if we want. And then we have Colin, and we have Gouda. And then we have the cosmos are doing really well, getting nice and big. The nasturtiums are getting to the end of their growth period. We've gathered some seeds already. And we've got the asters that hopefully will bloom soon. And nasturtiums are a trap crop, as you can see, and they've got some bugs on there that are keeping the bugs away from everything else. All right, now that the very loud vehicle is done driving by, this is the bed that I scavenged that fence from. The melons, as you can see, are not doing well. They have grown. They are blooming. No female flowers. We're not going to get any melons this year. And Colin just grabbed my fingers. Yeah, so that's what we've got going on over here. Melons are a fail. This zucchini here is one of the ones that were thinned by transplanting, and it's been blooming and it's actually growing. Over here in front, we've got the 3 surviving Royal Burgundy bush beans, and we can actually harvest some. I could harvest some today if I wanted to. Every few days we can harvest a small amount, like 1 or 2 usually. The spoon tomatoes, like this trellis should be a wall of tomatoes, but even though they're quite small, they are very prolific and have been one of the few things that we've been able to harvest from regularly. And in the space where the bush beans didn't come up, I tried planting some Swiss chard, which is struggling to survive. So I don't know if we'll actually get any of that, but at least we got the little tomatoes. All right, in this bed we have, on this side are the Uzbek golden carrots that we made seed tape with. And we also had sugar snap peas. And on this side, we got the atomic red carrots. And we had the super sugar snap peas. We like those ones better, so we're letting them go to seed. And then the deer also really like these ones. So I had to put this barrier in front, sprayed it with anti-deer spray. So we're going to be able to harvest super sugar snap peas to plant. And then at the very end here, there's just a couple of red noodle beans. We had some extra seeds and stuffed them in here, and some have survived and others the deer ate, and they're just as stunted and stagnated as the ones in the main bed. Okay, now we're into the winter squash and Stinky and Gouda. So we've got, they have started to grow finally, and they're blooming. It's male flowers only on this end. This is the mashed potato. We got one transplanted zucchini here, and then the sunshine squash. These ones are even smaller. And then we have another transplanted zucchini, and Gouda is trying to trip me. And then we have the baked potato squash. Now only the male flowers are blooming right now, but we do have our first female flowers. There's one more I spotted earlier. Can't see it right now, but anyway, so it's past the middle of August, so it's unlikely we're going to get anything, but at least we finally have 1, 2, maybe. We'll see. So it looks like we figured out why the potatoes did not do well in here. Part of the reason was obviously the heat and probably not sufficiently watered. No matter how many times I watered, we had such drought conditions. But this is where we've harvested potatoes, and that's just one small example of the tree roots that we were digging out around them. So the Chinese elm strike again, and we still have potatoes in here that we're just not bothering to harvest yet. We'll harvest them little by little as we need to use them. We won't have enough to store for the winter or anything like that. The summer squash, finally, are actually growing. This one, little one over underneath here hiding, this is the Gouda. The white scallop squash. We actually have a couple of zucchini over there. And these ones aren't doing as well as the other one, and this one, from the patterning on the leaves, looks like it's a different type of zucchini. But, it's late, but zucchini is short season, so we should have something. Speaking of something, we still have 4 of the Jersey Giant asparagus. I had thought we were down to 3 because I found one of them broken off, but that one sent up a new shoot, so we still have 4. And then the strawberries that got transplanted over here, not all of them made it, but some of them did. And look at that, they're even still trying to bloom, but still no sign of the purple asparagus. Never know, maybe some will show up next year. Right, Gouda? Alright, let's now make our way into the old kitchen garden. Got some flowers going here. Alright, let's start off. Get rid of this. These are the Sweetie Snack Mix peppers, and there are some peppers developing. Not every plant has peppers developing, and so far they're still very green. They're supposed to mature into red, orange, and yellow peppers. But, they're still blooming. It's really late, and our nights are starting to get cold, so I don't know what we're going to get. These little strawberries are still blooming and producing. Not as much, but amazingly, still something. The Turkish orange eggplants, and they're looking pretty decent. This one got damaged. We had a cold night. I think that's what happened there. But it exposed one almost ripe little eggplant. And then we got some more over here. And others hiding. I think they're supposed to be a fair bit bigger when fully ripe. And then we have our volunteer tomato hiding behind here. Meanwhile, we got what's left in this winter sown bed. So a lot of the kohlrabi has been harvested. There's still a few left. We've got the mint. The mint can't grew on its own. There's the spinach is all gone, but you can see that there's self-seeded spinach all over the place. Now that there's more light, the onion seeds are finally starting to grow and got some of the strongest onion plants I've ever seen, but they're not going to bulb this late in the season. Got some Swiss chard, and there was some tiny bok choy in here, and I only found them because they bolted, and I've collected the seeds, and we will have a dedicated area for those next year with our own seed. And then finally we have our herbs. We've got the walking onions on the outside. We're actually harvesting and eating the bulbils because I don't actually want the walking onions to spread beyond where they are now. And in with the oregano, basil, sage, lemon balm, and thyme, we've got some volunteer dill and volunteer poppies. And I've just let them grow because why not? So yeah, and we even remember to use the herbs every now and then too. And here's my work in progress. I started off with the wall nearer to me, and oh really, Sir Robin. Yeah, this was maple, so it was like almost white wood, but we got a heavy downpour and sprayed dirt on everything, so now it's all muddy. But yeah, so this was not working out well because it's about 12 feet long and it's really hard to weave things through between these spaced out supports. So I tried the opposite on the other end. I added 4 extra supports using those blocks, the spaces in those blocks to space the supports, and wove them with fresh willow branches. It was a lot more difficult to weave so close together. The willow was not quite pliable enough, but it looks so much better. So what I'll probably end up doing is taking these out, adding another support in between each, and finding new material to weave around them. And when this is all done, everything's going to be trimmed short except for these supports, and they're going to be used to hold any... Yes, another loud vehicle driving by. Any hoops or whatever if we need to cover the bed. So we'll have something to attach covers to and hold them up. So yeah, this is a work in progress. Definitely an experiment. Right, Sir Robin? Now that you're done using it as a litter box. And oh look, it's a Havarti. Hello Havarti. You little thing. You little thing. You sweet little thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, and here we have our grapes, and we actually have grapes. The raccoons haven't eaten them yet. These might look kind of ripe, but they're still pretty bitter. So we're leaving them as long as possible. Oh, that one was ripe. And so hopefully we'll actually have a chance to harvest grapes and have enough to actually do something with them. Some of them, as you can see, are completely green. Alright, and now we have our loofah, which have actually started to grow. This one has made its way up and across. Still no blooms, and so like it's so late in the season, we're not going to get anything out of them. And normally they would be like really big and bushy, and that's just not happening this year. But at least we got this growth, and that one is still really tiny. Just a little one. But one of these days I will have loofah. Alright, and that is it for our August 22, 2025 garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it. And I don't know, my thing right now is I'm just so glad that we did this winter sowing, because otherwise we'd have next to nothing this year. It's been a very, very rough year for gardening, but not a very rough year for beautiful kitties. That's cat number 1. We couldn't think of a name when we brought him into the vet, but I think we call him Fancy Pants now. Fancy Pants. Gonna go get Havarti? Yeah, go get him.